Peace and light, everyone. How's everything going thus far this week? I definitely hope everyone is setting their intentions for the week. Have your goals that you're looking over daily, and you're crossing things off your list as you go along. Things and steps that you are taking daily to help you reach that bigger vision or goal that you have. Always work harder on yourself than you do on your job. Okay. Happy Monday though. How's everyone doing? I come to touch on this topic today that I know many often disagree with me on. And I've learned that you can't take everybody with you when you're growing. You understand what I'm saying? And that's peace. In the words of my sis Aifeg, you know I'm stealing that from you, girl. That's peace. I love that. But yeah, this is a subject that people often disagree with me on in the Black community, and I can understand that because the brainwashing, the programming is real, and everyone is never going to get taken up out of all of that. You understand what I'm saying? So a lot of people disagree with me because this is something that has been taught to them and has been happening to them since they were little kids. So therefore, and because they know their parents love them, they don't see it as something that's bad. When in reality, our parents are brainwashed and they're following slave bullshit, and they don't even know it. They don't even know it. So we're going to get into this topic that's at hand. And yeah, I'm so sorry. I'm just sitting here as I'm seeing my reflection on this video. My hair looks so short. I'm sitting here like, dang, I'm questioning myself that I cut my hair. Y'all always ask me if I cut my hair when y'all see my hair in twist or style or something. No, I did not cut my hair. It's just shrinkage is real. When you're dealing with natural hair, shrinkage is real. Like, oh my God. Like, see how short that twist looked? And it's like all the way over here in the next seat. Like, for real. Like, there's just, I don't know. Like, it's just shrinkage. But no, I know I cut my hair a lot, but I haven't cut it lately. It's just shrinkage. But anyway, we're not here to talk about hair, even though my hair care products will be being released soon. As y'all know, I hand make my own my skincare products, my hair care. So you will get my hair growth products soon. Be on the lookout. I'm working on some things right now, getting things together, but everything's gonna come out in a little while. Just chill. But yeah, so on back up to the topic that we're actually here for. Beating Black children. Tough topic, okay? Because so many of us, like I said, are programmed to believe that that's okay, that this is what we're supposed to be doing. A lot of people don't like to discuss that where beating Black children came from. How this is something that was passed down from massa, okay, and slavery, to sit here and beat the fuck out of our kids, leave them with welts and bruises across them, and to get them to do what we want them to do. Think about how damaging that is. First of all, let's get into the vibrational standpoint of it, right? Each vibration falls under one or two categories, either the vibration of love or the vibration of fear. It stems from either one of those, each vibration that you fear. Are you teaching your children to love you by you beating them for every little thing they say that you don't like, from them doing everything that they do that you don't like? Or are you teaching them to do what you want them to do by inflicting pain on them and instilling fear into them? We're beating these little ass kids like they're grown ass people, with belts, extension cords, switches off trees, shoes, every fucking thing. And they're little kids. Even if we're doing it with our hands, we're popping the hell out of them like multiple times, and we're getting angry and taking our grown ass man and grown ass woman strengths and beating these kids. I remember growing up having so many bruises and welts that I couldn't sit down. I remember in gym class, the teacher would be like, have a seat. And I'm like, I'm good. I feel like standing. Because I had so much welts on my ass. There is no whooping that should have gotten that bad. I personally have stemmed away from whipping my kids. I used to, and I did not feel right. I felt like a slave doing it. Why am I doing that? These are little kids. Can we not give our kids permission to be kids and make tons upon tons of mistakes that they will make? Can we not give them permission to be their little tiny selves that don't know this world and don't know how to be a perfect adult like the fuck we think we are? Can you imagine as an adult, if someone hit you when you said something they didn't like, or if they hit you when you did something that they did not approve of to get you to do how they wanted you to be? Oh, it's wrong. But when you do that to a little child who can't defend themselves, bitch, that's right. If you got a problem with cussing, I'm sorry. If you follow me, cussing is therapy sometimes. Cussing is a form of self-expression. It helps sometimes to express yourself. Now, I plan on cutting it out in the future, but today ain't one of them days, all right? Now, just follow with me. If you're offended by that word, I apologize. Just follow the message. Take what's for you, leave what's not, okay? But this is some real shit. It gets so bad to even the way we talk to our black kids is terrible. I hear so much parents talking to their children like they're fucking niggas on the streets that they're beefing with. I'm not the black off your ass. I brought you in this world, I'll take you out. We think these things are healthy. What are you programming this child's mind with? And because it was said to you and it was done to you, you think it's okay. Because your parents love you, right? And they said it and they did it and they caused you pain and you cried. And what kills me is what I hear so much is people saying, well, I turned out okay. I'm good. Are you? Are you really? How about let's talk about how much trauma you have that you don't even want to acknowledge, that other people always see in you and feel hurt by you, that you always try to dismiss. Let's talk about your relationships. Let's talk about how well you actually get along in your relationships. Let's talk about your own feelings that you're dealing with inside that you don't even connect or even understand, that due to getting beat all the fucking time is a reason why you have certain emotions attached to you, is the reason why you have problems opening up and trusting, is the reason why you have certain issues on so many different things. But because it's been done to us since we were fucking little babies and toddlers, we can't connect why we have certain issues that we have. We cannot connect certain trauma why we have it when we have it. For you to beat a child because they said something you didn't like, or for you to beat them because they did something you don't like, that is teaching them to do the same. Y'all wonder why y'all kids constantly getting suspended in schools for fighting? I'm gonna tell y'all why. I'm going to tell y'all why. Because it's a learned behavior. They have learned that if somebody says something that I don't like, and if they have done something that I don't approve of, I'm going to hit them to teach them a lesson and to get them to act how I want them to act. That shit is toxic. That shit is toxic. We have to understand not only where this comes from and how we are still being slaves using this slave ass bullshit. You wonder why black people always talking about how white people don't beat their kids. You want to know why they don't? Because they're fucking smarter than us. They know where that shit came from. They know that's a form of abuse. They use that to get us in line as slaves. So why the fuck would they use some shit that they use to control slaves on their kids? We the dumb motherfuckers still using that to deal with our kids, all in the name of love. They know better. And we look at them like something's wrong with them. And you know, it's crazy. I was just catching up with a homegirl the other day, and we was talking about this shit. And we was talking about how, and I was telling her how in the black community, we laugh and we joke about that. It's like to cope with our pain, we joke a lot. And I'm definitely one of them damn people. If you follow me, you've been following me for a while, you know I love to joke. But in reality, we have used joking and laughter as a form of coping with trauma in the black community. A lot. You hear so many stand-up comedians that will stand up and do comedy about how we used to beat so damn bad growing up as kids, and how, you know, our parents would do certain things or whatever. And we all laugh at it and stuff like it's funny, like it's cool. But is that shit really funny? Is that shit really funny? Like, excuse me, let's really talk about this. Is it really funny? It's not. It is not. There's nothing funny about teaching your kid, do what I say or I'm gonna beat you. If a grown man was to come and do that to me, beat me or put his hands on me because I did something that he did not approve of, or I said something that he didn't agree with, it's wrong and it's abuse and he deserves to go to jail. Same thing if I was to do it to that man. But if us big ass strong grown woman and grown man strength adults do that same thing to a little child because they did something or said something that we didn't like, it's right. And that's good parenting. Good job, Mom. Good job, Dad. Job well done. Fuck out of here. Fuck out of here. It's a tough subject, y'all. It really is. It really is. Because some of us have, man, it's really crazy. You want me to tell you why so many women stay in relationships where they are being beaten by these men? Because y'all don't understand the subconscious mind and how it is programmed. Okay? It's a high, the numbers of domestic violence are so high. We subconsciously program our daughters that it is okay to be beaten and still be loved. When we as their mother and their father are constantly, or, putting our hands on them or whatever, when they do something we don't like or say something that we don't like, and yet they still stay, living with us, whatever, we're still with them, we love them or whatever, tomorrow's a new day. Subconsciously, that shit is okay. Hitting me is okay, and you could still love me. And you can still love me. This is why it's so hard for a woman to break free out of domestic violence relationships when we're getting our ass beat and half of us don't even know it. Because we're used to this shit being done to us from the time we're fucking kids. Y'all want to talk about some shit? Let's talk about it. Post-traumatic slave syndrome. The shit is real. Not only that, but you have to understand this too. When our, great-great-grandparents was released from slavery, right? All they knew was all they ever seen and what they was ever done to them. And that was, hey, to get them in line, what the slave masters did, beat us and whipped us. And sometimes they would have other slaves to beat and whip the kids for them, just so they could say, hey, we did it. Please don't touch them. That's a form of getting them. That shit ain't right. No human deserves to be getting their hands put on. And especially fucking innocent ass little babies and toddlers and children. If anything, some of y'all grown ass people need y'all ass whipped. It's so many reasons why I can't just fuck with anybody, bro. I really don't know how y'all be hopping on in relationships with everybody. Honey, it's certain things we have to see eye to eye with. Like, it's so many deal breakers for me. I'm being so real with you. And when you out here dating and you're a single mom, it's a whole different ball game, son. It's a whole different ball game. And I'm not just looking out for me no more. I really don't know how the hell y'all want me to be sitting here from relationship to relationship to relationship and them niggas living with you and your kids and you just be going from one to the other. That shit's toxic as hell. Another story. We ain't going into that. I'm sorry. Certain things will lead to certain things and that I just don't approve of. But man, we gotta wake up, family. We gotta realize this shit. And I'm working so damn hard. It's let me tell you something. It's a hard thing to be the parent that you never had, to be the mother that you never seen. And that's what I'm doing right now for my two little girls. They are 7 and 5 years old, very young, very impressionable, very innocent. They are growing and their minds are like sponges. If I'm teaching them now that I could beat them and still love them, do not be surprised and call them stupid and dumb and ignorant when they stay with a man who gives them that same form of love that they have always known. This shit runs so deep in our community that is sad. It's sad. There's a book, I never read it, but I really want to read it, called Whooping Black Kids or Beating Black Kids, something like that. Man, I heard about it years ago and I went to go buy it and I don't know what happened, but that book has been coming to me recently lately and I want to get it. There's nothing wrong with telling your kids you're sorry, you apologize. Am I 100% out of whoopings? I want to say about 98. There are some times where I do slip up because, mind you, this is not what I was taught to be. It was on autopilot for me to knock the hell out of my child if they did something that I didn't approve of. You understand what I'm saying? Get that belt, beat their ass. Or we gonna show them how to respect. I'm the mom in this house. What I say goes. You understand what I'm saying? We tell our kids, I don't give a fuck about your feelings. What? You don't give a fuck about their feelings? Think about the shit you tell your children. You wonder why so many of our children grow up looking for love in all the wrong places. God damn it, listen to how you talk to them. Of course they looking for something that they never fucking got. You may truly love them in your heart, but what you giving them is not love. What you giving them is pushing them to find love other ways. It's pushing them into suicidal shit when they're young. This is why a lot of reasons why we have so many teenagers and young people who's talking about suicide and who's actually out there taking their lives. That stems from lack of fucking love. Nobody who is loving themselves is doing this. Parents, we have to unlearn and relearn and start taking responsibility for shit. We really have to do this. It's okay to tell your kid, I apologize. So many times I do stuff, or I'll even realize sometimes where I lose my cool in the moment and I'll end up just popping my child. And when I say pop, it's not what y'all mean when y'all say pop. I mean pop. And that's every blue moon. And 10 times out of 10, I end up going back to my daughter and apologizing. It barely ever happens, but I usually end up going back to her apologizing, telling her, I apologize. You know what? And I sit down and I think about better ways that I could have handled that instead of that. And I have these conversations with my daughter. Baby, mommy's not perfect. I am learning. You are teaching me how to be a better mom. You are teaching me how to be a better individual. You are teaching me patience, and you are teaching me strength, and you are teaching me growth. Mommy does not have all the answers. I fully don't know how to do this right. I am learning. And I'm sorry for where I fall short. But we are going to get this right together. I have these conversations with my children. Especially my 7-year-old because, she has ADHD. So she's a lot more like off the wall than my 5-year-old. It's not easy. It's not easy. But we cannot keep on. We don't like to call it abuse, but yes, the fuck it is. If someone comes up and hits your ass because they don't like what you said or what you did, it's abuse, and then you calling the cops and they going to jail. You're gonna fight them like a man. But we're gonna do that to these little ass kids who cannot fight or defend themselves, and we don't understand what we're teaching them and putting in their brain for their future and in their present. For relationships and situations. So many of us stay with fucked up friends by our side and we wonder why. Why it just seems to feel like home. Why we don't seem to leave it. Same thing with these fucking relationships. These are our children. We should be speaking to nobody nicer than our children. These are the people that should be having our heart, that we speak softer to, that we have more patience with in the whole world. You would take shit on your job from your boss and coworkers and from these niggas, but yet you will beat your kids for one little thing they do that you don't like. We are mean to them. We are mean to them. Give them permission to be kids. Give them permission to learn, to fail, to accidentally break shit, to do shit on purpose and to learn and grow. Communicate with your kids. Have conversation. And most of all, teach them. If you always yelling at them, don't get mad that they don't know how to communicate with each other or other people. If you always hitting them, don't get mad that that's what they do with other people. They do what they see. Parents, a lot of us is fucked up and we don't know it. We think this shit is cool. We always aggravated and snapping on our kids and agitated with our kids. That is a fucking issue. This shit is crazy. I wish I could start all over again. Being a mom is something that is not easy. I wish I could start fresh again from what I know now, because I feel like, in the beginning, I have to take, I take full responsibility for some of the things that I feel like my daughter has seen shit, and I take the responsibility as a parent that she should have never seen. Between me and her daddy fighting, arguing when we were still together, it's shit that my children should have never seen. It's shit that my children should have never seen. The first time he ever put his hands on me, I should have been gone. But that shit felt like home. And I had to look within and figure out where I was staying. And it took me I couldn't do it for myself. It took me to do it for my kids, to know that I did not want them to continue to see their mom being hit. I didn't want them to end up in that same type of relationship. Sorry, y'all. I don't cry on camera. I'm sorry. This is a real subject, though. We have to. This is what happens to lots of our daughters when we do these things. And most of us, to our children, period, to our sons too. But most of us do it. A lot of people that I know, they, mainly would do it to their girls, and they say, "Oh, don't whip no boy. That's a boy. He don't need no whipping." So it happens to both, definitely, but it definitely happens a lot more with our young girls getting whipping and stuff like that. And you're setting them up for abusive relationships in their future. Of course, there are always exceptions to the rules. Not everyone who got beaten as a child is going to end up in an abusive relationship, but most of us do. Let's keep it real. And you have to understand, as a parent, you have some fucking issues that you need to deal with. That's not okay. That's not a part of Black culture. Look into Africa and how they handle lots of different things in different tribes over there. I'm not talking about before they started getting domesticated and fucked up too. I'm talking about actually studying the tribes who ain't all Europeanized and shit over there too. I remember a couple years ago, I was studying a particular tribe where if a child did something wrong, they would all get into a circle and sit that child in the middle of the circle, and they would each take turns in the circle going around and saying something that they loved about that child. And then they would talk about what it was the child did wrong and give them other ways of other things they could do instead. That's real African love. That's real unity. This shit we got going on is slave mindset. Our children are hurting. We are growing up being hurt adults. And most of it is we're getting hurt, not even just from other kids, which happened, yes, but from adults who we were supposed to be safe in their hands. Sometimes when I feel that urge, because it's in me, that's how I was raised, to just pop my daughter, I'll come in, I'll have to take a deep breath and I'll give her a hug. I say, Jazara or Tahiri, we need to talk. Let's talk about what was just done here. And I have to constantly tell myself when I feel like I'm getting to that point, give them permissions to be kids. Let's talk to this in a loving, calming manner. And we'll talk it out. I let them voice their opinion. I let them voice their side, because I want my children to know you have a voice and it deserves to be heard. Your view ain't gonna be my view. I'm a grown-ass woman. I can't expect you to be on my level. I can't expect you not to make mistakes and not to act like a child and do childish shit. You're a child. We try to hurry up and beat them into being fucking grown-ups and adults and older, but then we complain that they're too fucking fast when they do. We say they too fast when they growing up too fast, but that's what you beat them in the fucking beat. This is a subject that I can go on about a lot, and I didn't even realize it's been almost a half an hour I've been on this thing. It feels like 5 damn minutes. But this is a serious topic, y'all, and we really got to do some search within. I definitely advise, if you do not know, to start looking within yourself. Hell, y'all got smartphones for no reason. Even use the internet for tips and advice on how to better communicate with your children, on how to handle situations with your children when they're doing this and when they're doing that don't involve you putting your fucking hands on a little ass kid who cannot defend themselves. You have your kid screaming and crying in pain, and you call that love. How's that shit worked out for us? The biggest niggas and drug dealers in the streets, posted up on the corner, every fucking thing. Go up to them, ask them if their mama didn't tear their ass up growing up as a child. They'll tell you easily, hell yeah, man, my mama didn't play. My mama didn't play. She wasn't about that shit. That shit don't work. It makes angry fucking ticking bombs. Now, they don't know how to talk to people and how to handle situations. They don't know conflict resolution. All they know is knock a bitch the fuck out when they doing something I don't like. We gotta heal this, family. Unlearn what the fuck you've been taught. Everything you've been taught is a lie. And 9 times out of 10, if it's something that's running in our culture, that shit ain't good for us. Because the culture that we got here today in America ain't even our fucking culture. Peace and light, fam.